One of the enduring legends of Japanese folklore is the mystery of Inunaki Village, a location shrouded in myths, horror tales, and debates about its very existence. Inunaki translates to howling dog. The village of Inunaki is believed to be nestled within the mountains of the Fukuoka prefecture. It's an intriguing topic, wrapped in the fabric of the supernatural and the unknown, drawing explorers, horror enthusiasts, and skeptics alike. The Inunaki village legend paints it as a place outside Japan's jurisdiction. According to the tales, its entry point bears an ominous warning sign. The constitutional laws of Japan do not apply here. The village is said to be inhabited by descendants of ancient outcasts, living in an autonomous, self-sustained community cut off from civilization. Stories about Inunaki Village often involve disturbing accounts of inbreeding, cannibalism, and brutal rituals. These tales create a chilling atmosphere, deepening the enigma of the village. It is also believed that electronic devices malfunction in the village vicinity. The very name Inunaki is said to be of haunted origin. According to the legend, a man killed his dog because it wouldn't stop barking. But then the man and his whole family was murdered, and the dog merely was just trying to warn his master about the approaching danger. The actual village existed from 1691 to 1889. The village has its roots in agriculture and forestry, which are still important industries in the area today. Inunaki Village fused with another village to become the village of Yoshimura, which also disappeared to become part of Miyawaka City. Everyone has moved due to the construction of a barrage in 1986, which ended in 1994. People claim that there are still villagers who live in the area, often said to be aggressive and not so welcoming to outsiders. Are these people the last remaining survivors of this village? Who are they? That's still a mystery I ask myself personally. What if they're actually spirits who still inhabit the area unable to leave? So let's talk about the tunnel. The Inunaki Tunnel is also said to be the old passageway to the village. However, the access to it has been shut off, but there's still said to be an off-beaten path easily missed that can still lead to the village, said to be hidden in the overgrown trees and brush. Now let's dive a little deeper into the Inunaki Tunnel's history. It's said to be Japan's most haunted tunnel. Open to traffic in 1949, after 2 decades in service, a new tunnel was constructed near between 1974 and 1975, and the old tunnel fell into disuse, becoming dangerous due to lack of preservation. Today, a concrete wall seals the tunnel's entrance, preventing anyone from delving into the depths of this infamous location. Legend has it that the tunnel was once used by the Japanese military during World War II, as a testing ground for biological and chemical weapons. People had been killed not only inside the tunnel, but outside the tunnel too. It's called the most horrifying place in the area, and the reports of haunted stories are never ending. According to local legends, during the construction of the tunnel, many workers died due to accidents and mishaps. Their bodies were reportedly buried within the walls of the tunnel, and their angry spirits are said to haunt the area till date. However, it's particularly famous for a brutal murder that took place there on December 7, 1988. Umeyama, who was the victim of this incident, was said to be a very respectable young man. At the time of the incident, he was on his way home from work. 5 guys approached his car at a stoplight and said that they needed his car to pick up some girls. When Umeyama refused, the guys attacked and abducted him, and they assaulted him. However, he was able to escape, and despite his injuries, attempted to make his way home. Unable to get any help from passing cars, he was captured by the group once again. The angry group tried to throw Umeyama off Kanda Port. However, not wanting to die, he clung to the fence with all his might and withstood their assault. One of the guys, seeing Umeyama like this, felt remorse or perhaps fear and suggested they should stop. The ringleader, afraid their attack would be discovered, said to his friends, "We're all in this together," so they decided to kill him. They put Umeyama in the trunk of his car and beat him with cranks, wrenches, and other tools. They tried to get rid of his body at Rikimaru Dam, but feared the body would float, so they decided to burn his body instead, so it would be impossible to identify who he was. and they made their way for the abandoned old Inunaki Tunnel. Arriving at the old Inunaki Tunnel, they poured gasoline over Umeyama's head. He screamed out in terror and it echoed loudly through the ghastly abandoned tunnel. Even before the incident, there were many stories about vengeful ghosts in the old tunnel. Perhaps because of this, the guys flinched for just a moment and Umeyama took a chance to run again, fleeing into the forest. The guys beckoned Umeyama to come out of the forest, and for some reason he did, and they captured him again. And that's when they finally set him on fire. Driven mad with pain, Umeyama ran all the way back to the entrance of the tunnel, where all of his strength finally left his body and he collapsed and died. And just to make sure that Umeyama was dead, they got a boulder and smashed his head, which is just so sad. Umeyama's cause of death was said to be blood loss, probably from blunt head trauma from that boulder. It's impossible to imagine the pain and suffering he must have been in. The group was finally caught and sentenced to life in prison. Another tragic story took place sometime in the early 1970s and follows a young couple who were on their way to Hisayama when unexpectedly their car engine broke. They left their car and headed up the forest to seek help. They eventually entered a village that seemed abandoned. They were approached by a crazy old man who welcomed them to Inunaki before murdering them with a sickle. The murdered couple's remains are said to be still in the village. However, this story was told by locals, so I'm not sure if it was made up, but to think that someone might have been possibly killed near the village is also scary. Reports of echoes and screams have been heard throughout the Inunaki area. Are these the echoes of the victims that met their tragic end in the Inunaki area? Or are these the villagers that still lurk in the forest? I don't think we'll ever know. Thanks for watching this deep dive, and let me know what you guys think in the comments.